Hi guys, this is Gail. I'm going to step away from polymer clay just for this one video. I've told you all that I am starting to make greeting cards, and I have run into a problem of, after I make them, how do I keep them? So I was looking online the other day for a, well actually it was probably a couple weeks ago, I was looking for a way to store my paper because I was accumulating some paper and it was hard to find what I was looking for. And I came across a tutorial where they used a medium-size flat rate priority mailbox and cut it, put it together, cut it diagonally, and made a little holder that you could put your 12 by 12 paper in. Well, I got to thinking the other day, I was having a hard time now that I'm accumulating cards, and I thought, well, why don't I do the same thing with the small flat rate box and put together a organizer for my cards? So that's what I'm going to do today. And this is the small, let me make sure I'm zoomed out all the way. This is the small flat rate box. It'll say so right there, and it's a pretty small box. Actually, it is, when it's assembled, it is about 5.5 by 8.5, and it's about 1.5 inches deep. And I thought it would make a fantastic organizer. So what I did, and I've done one, and one box, but I'm going to do a second one. One thing I did learn is up here on the flap, this is provided by the post office, but these little tabs here, and I'll show you after they're cut, after the box is put together and cut, that they became a little bit of a problem. So I put some tear tape on here, so when the time comes to use the adhesive, I'll have something there that will stick these little tabs here. But you just put your box together just like normal, like you're going to ship something. And these are fairly sturdy, heavy, sturdy boxes. You get to this point, so you just fold on all, bend all the score lines, and you'll eventually get to where you need to be. And then you put it together like this, and then you get to the place where you put that flap down, and this is where you use the adhesive. Now I'm going to pull the paper off of this adhesive. I think I overlapped it the wrong way, so it may not work. Well, that worked okay. And let me pull this one off. And that really didn't work that well. I'll have to tape it again. Well, that one didn't stick either. I must not have burnished it enough. Anyway, I'll work on that after I do this. I just thought it would save a step to do it ahead of time. Anyway, you just remove the label or the protective paper that the post office puts on here, and it really sticks. To let this go in order to do that, so let me just stick it back together. These little tabs go in a little slot, and just put your box together. Maybe now would be a good time to put the tear tape on. I didn't do it. I thought doing it ahead of time would help, but it doesn't. So let me put some tear tape on here, and you don't need much, just enough to hold that little flap. I don't know if you've ever used tear tape, but they call it that because you can tear it. But it needs to be burnished down really good for the adhesive to stick. And I've let this go again, but that's all right. I can put it back together. can't tell you how many times it took me to learn how to put this box together when I first started using these boxes. Anyway, so my tear tape is burnished down, and I'll just pull the paper off and expose the adhesive. And that'll just give something to hold those little extra flaps down. And then you just put it, just seal it. Just like you're ready, you know, like it's full of something and you're ready to ship it. So this is your box. It's all put together. Now what I do, what I did on the last one, and I'll do it again, is I took a ruler and I'm going to cut it this way. Cut it diagonally. And I like the idea of having the lip being about 1 inch. Just gives a little extra security in holding your cards in. So I'm going to just mark 1 inch. And you might want to mark 1 inch on the other side. Make sure you do it. This one is on this side, so I'll do this. And mark 1 inch down here. And then what I do is I just take a ruler, lay it up matching the 2 lines, the 1 inch lines, and then I just take a box cutter, and this is just a cheap one I got at the dollar store. And rather than pushing really hard, just take a couple of swipes with this to cut through the cardboard. And just use I think that's through, except here on the end. And then what I do is I go to the other side and I do the same thing. Just match up the 2 marks, and it doesn't have to be exact. But just score it once and then go back with your blade, and it's usually the 2nd or 3rd time is all you need. So that looks like it cut pretty good. Just make sure you cut all the way to the edge. Then when you get to this side, it's cut to here, it's cut here, and it's cut here, so you just need to connect them. And you can see that's why I needed something to hold this, because when you cut from here to here, this little flap wasn't attached to anything and it just kind of stuck up. So I'm going to stand up just because it's easier. Well, I'll do it this way. Just put your blade in and cut straight down. Let me lock my blade in. It wasn't locked very well. Just cut straight down, and I just found it easier to just wiggle the blade rather than trying to score. And see if you matched it up. If not, you can just, there, see? And this little piece you can just pull out. You're not going to need that. And see, this still didn't stick very well, but you can see how that could be an issue, but I can fix that. It's no problem. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to find my 1 inch mark and just slice down. This one wasn't quite as straight, so I might have to do some finagling, but as long as it cuts it in half, it doesn't really matter. Now that's the end of your knife. You don't need your knife anymore. Now what I did with the other one, I just tucked that little triangle inside, and let me use some of this tear tape and use a little bit more of it. I don't think I used enough to really grab it very well. Just burnish it down and then pull your paper up and the adhesive stays. And just glue this flap down. And this one, there's the little piece. Usually there's two of those little pieces that come out unattached, and I didn't see the other one, and it's because it dropped down in here. It doesn't want to come out, but it's not in the way. There it is. This is that other piece that comes out the other side. So anyway, so now we've got this. And like I said, I made 2 more. So I've got 4 of these containers. I'll set it up on end so you can see it better. I've got 4 of these. And they're going to sit like, you know, like this. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover them in duct tape. And I got this at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. And there's the end. And I'm just going to cover this in duct tape. Now I'm going to, please excuse this if it glares, but I can't use the paper when I'm doing this. I'm going to take this, and I really don't care what the inside looks like. I'm trying to find, I usually lay this in my lap when I do it. And this doesn't matter that it came loose because the duct tape is going to hold it in place. But I laid it flat. I love duct tape. It's so sticky. And then I just kind of followed the shape of the box around. And let me cut it with my knife rather than a pair of scissors. And then just fold it in. And just smooth it out. And you do this all over. Now let me see. Let me do this, because this is going to be, looks like it's just about the right width. I'm going to attach my duct tape there. And that's why it's not real important that that flap be permanently attached, because this duct tape is going to hold it. And I'm going to run this up the side, or I guess that would be the bottom, and up the back. Probably would have been a good idea to do this last. It would give it a good finish, wouldn't it? But I'm learning along with you, so maybe the next one I'll do it that way. And just bring it in. You could trim it with scissors if you want, but I'm just going to fold it over. It overlapped, oh, not even 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to fold it over. But you just continue covering with the duct tape. Cover up all the cardboard, and just keep going around until your whole box is covered. And I'm not going to make you watch all of this. I just wanted to do one, and I'll do the other 3 off camera before I go to the next step. But just keep wrapping. It's only going to take one more, so I'll go ahead and finish this. And you can make them different colors. If you wanted to do one with a Christmas theme, you could do that. But just, whoops, don't get crooked. Try to keep it straight. My biggest fear just happened. It stuck to itself, and I don't know if you know what it's like when duct tape sticks to itself. But you don't have to, I mean, this is just for my storage. If you're making it as a gift, you might want to be a little bit pickier about how you handle your tape. But I'm just going to cut this off rather than try to unstick it, because it's just not coming. Anyway, just smooth it on the inside. And except for one little red strip here, which I don't even think I'm going to cover, it's completely covered in the duct tape. Now there's another place there that didn't get covered. But that's alright, because what I'm going to do is after I cover all of these, I'm going to put them together and I'm going to tape them together, and that'll make my container, my organizer. So I will do that off camera and I'll be back. Hi guys, it's Gail again. I am going to try a different camera angle. I've kind of rigged up this little thing with a tripod to see if I can get a better shot over at my card desk. But anyway, I have finished covering my 4 boxes, or half boxes, and I did run out of this tape, so I completed one with red. But you know, it's not going to matter, because if I put that on the inside, you're not going to see it. But this is the way it's going to look when it's all put together. And I think the best way to do that is to go across maybe the side and the back. So maybe I'll use the red there. See, there's the red on the back. I'm just not real sure yet, because like I said, I am learning along with you, but this just seemed like something that would be fun to have. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll start here on the bottom, and then I will go around the side with a strip. So let me, whoops, wait a minute. I just saw something. This one is the one that was messed up on that side, so I don't want that on the outside. So let me try that. Let me see if that's going to work. Yeah, I think that's going to work. But I think what I'm going to do is take the red and put it across, let me see, across the bottom of one, and try to line it up. And then I will put the second one up next to that and come across that one. And then put the next one up there next to that and stick that one on. And then this one there and stick this one on. I'm sure there's a much neater way of doing this, and I apologize, but this is just me playing right now. So that's got them together that way. I might put one more across here. I'll start a little bit lower so that the bottom is kind of sturdy. And just trim it, you know, like this is like 1 inch on the end, so I can go around the bottom. And now let me go this way. And what I'll do with whatever red is left, I will decorate some more so that it looks more uniform on the outside. But for right now, this looks like it's going to do what I want it to do. Unless I run out of red tape. These Dollar Tree duct tapes are really pretty, but they don't really last long. There's not a lot on them. But hey, what can you expect for $1, right? So let me just wrap that. And I think because of the red in this other tape, I think the red's going to look fine with it. Okay, so now to do the sides, I think I will just do the side down here at the bottom because I do have that partially done. And I don't want to have to waste tape by going around the back. I'll do this side. And I think this will be pretty with the combination of the red and blue and green, or it's 2 colors of blue, of the stripes, and in the red. But see how that red here, so I probably ought to go ahead and do the whole back. And I'll just do the back because I don't mind the red and blue on the sides. That's kind of what I had intended to use anyway. I'm just trying to line this up the best I can. But this is the back. Nobody's going to see it. But if you're giving it as a gift, I'm sure you'd want to be a little more careful. Well, I think that's the end of my red. This didn't last long either. Let me see if I can get enough off of it to finish this one strip, and I will be all set. Whoops, please don't stick. There. I think it, just one little triangle here. One little section here is not stuck. See that? It's just a little flap, and a little bit of art glitter glue will fix that. There we go. If I'd covered it with paper, I would have used the art glitter glue. But there we are. This is my greeting card organizer. It's going to sit up like this, and I can put my cards in it that I've finished. I'll put my Christmas cards in one. Actually, that's all I've got right now. But you can just set them up in there. If I got anything else finished. I think that's it. But this will work really well. I can sit this up on my shelf and put my cards in here as I work on them. See how it looks that way? And didn't cost me anything but $2 worth of tape from Dollar Tree. So I hope you can take this and maybe do a better job than I did. This was just an idea I had after looking at one. I've done the same thing with the medium flat rate boxes, They're much bigger, of course, but one side of them is 12 inches and the other side is like 16. So if you do the same thing with that, and you can, I haven't taped those together yet, that's why I wanted to try it with something smaller. But then you have a thing like this where you can put your 12 by 12 papers in if you use that size box. So courtesy of the U.S. Postal Service. Hope you enjoyed this. If so, please give it a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.